basketball fans, welcome back. So this report just came up, and I just said, let me just give my raw thoughts on this whole issue. So Kyrie Irving tried to persuade LeBron James to team up again in the summer of 2023. So this was last year's off season. So just to bring some context to what really happened, and let's just go back to the 2023 season, the 2022-2023 season, the trade deadline in February of 2023. So at this time, it was heavily rumored that Kyrie was gonna, go somewhere. He's gonna end up somewhere, and the pieces had to fit. And people had some speculation saying that the Lakers will have traded for him, which I saw would be quite impossible, because given like the whole salary situation for the Los Angeles Lakers, it would have been very difficult to be able to uh, gather up some assets, because get they don't want to like remove or even like give away their picks, their valuable draft capital. So there was a lot of back and forth in that situation. At that time, Kyrie, he had demanded a trade in the 2022 off season, and the trade did not go through. And also KD at that time, but you're not gonna talk about KD. You're gonna talk about Kyrie right now. So Kyrie, when he demanded a trade in the 2022 off season, there were no trading partners, and at that time he demanded a trade after he opted into his $35 million player option. So that was like he was on an expiring deal on his contract. So he was kind of quite of a piece of work. He was a headache a bit, especially with that anti-Semitic tweet that he posted on that Amazon documentary. So he was grappling with both on court and off court issues. On court consistency, off court, like there was a lot of things going on there. So heading into the trade deadline, a lot of teams shied away for trading for Kyrie, because it was a huge gamble to trade for a superstar who's gonna play for you half the season. Is gonna be an unrestricted free agent, and it's going to be quite difficult to be able to, re-sign him or convince him to re-sign. Even if you're not gonna give him a fully loaded, max contract, it will be actually quite difficult to be able to retain him. So what really happened was the Dallas Mavericks took a chance on this, and they traded for Kyrie. The Los Angeles Lakers at that time, they had Russell Westbrook. So a lot of people, including myself at that time, I made a video talking about why don't they do that swap of Russell Westbrook for Kyrie straight up. I feel like that video aged poorly, and even looking back, I must say it would not have been a good move to do that, because the fit had to be great, and the Nets they didn't want to get like a person like a Russell Westbrook at the time, so salaries had to match, and the Dallas Mavericks were the guys who came up calling. I know even LeBron James, after this trade, after the Lakers traded for, no, not even traded for, but after the Dallas Mavericks traded for Kyrie from the Brooklyn Nets, he came out in an interview saying, and he was saying he was very disappointed in what happened. But now the next after that shot missed. So the next best bet was in the 2023 summer, the summer of 2023. So at the time, it was heavily rumored that he was going to re-sign with the Dallas Mavericks, because he endeared himself to the organization. He wanted to play with Luka Doncic. So signing with that team that has accepted him for who he really is was a no-brainer. So a few days into free agency, then boom, we saw that $153 million, that $137 million extension get signed. So I know Kyrie, he showed up in the West Finals for the Lakers versus Nuggets series. He was there courtside. You could see that iconic handshake that he has. So you could see Kyrie, he wanted to play with LeBron, but given the whole salary situation, given the business part of the sport, I know the sporting part, the basketball part, it will work perfectly. But in the business part, it will actually be quite difficult because both LeBron and AD on max contracts, and if they took on Kyrie, they had to make sure to compensate him, and they will not be able to have any cap to be able to sign, even get any depth for the team. So it will be quite difficult. They had to give up, let's say, an Anthony Davis at the time, so they can get a guy like Kyrie, so that it can work. But unfortunately, it couldn't. So my God, I saw this and I just said, you know what, let me just talk about it because it's something that many people have a tendency to like forget and not like fully understand what's going on in there. So it didn't take, Kyrie too long to re-sign with the Dallas Mavericks this past summer, but it wasn't that long ago where that reunion was inevitable. So Irving was more than open to play with LeBron, which was fine, especially when it comes to basketball. But the business part will have been the part where the Lakers will have really scratched their heads a lot. So Irving lives in Los Angeles in the off season, and he has had an open calendar after the Dallas Mavericks failed to make the playoffs. So, but he was also about to become a free agent, and according to sources close to him, Irving had a strong interest in reuniting with LeBron James, either in Los Angeles or Dallas. So Irving was there. Sources close to him say to send that very message. So the whole situation on the basketball side, it worked perfectly, but on the business side and also when it comes to salary wise and compensation, I don't think it will have happened. I know people want to rekindle like the LeBron and Kyrie duo from 2014 2017. My God, they gave us one of the best basketball I've ever seen. Sometimes I just go back and look at those highlights because that duo was just deadly. I remember they came back down from 3-1 lead, and every time LeBron and Kyrie just hit the floor, it was just fun to watch. They're those players that you watch in basketball and they just make you happy watching them. Even right now with Kyrie, when he plays with the Mavericks, I tune into more Dallas Mavericks games because I'm very dazzled with how this guy just plays and how he approaches the ball game. So very exciting player to watch. But in basketball wise, this will have been a very good move, but business wise and salary wise, it will have been a quite a uphill battle for their agents, the teams, to figure out a way to compensate all these guys, LeBron, AD, and Kyrie. You can't have it all. So you can't have a luxury player like Kyrie like that. You have to pay him max dollars, and if you can't give him max dollars, he's not gonna get a vet minimum deal. He's not gonna get like a deal like a Westbrook. So that's the reason as to why the Dallas Mavericks were the best, candidate for this, because you can see he re-signed with that max deal and they're able to give him what he wants, and right now he's just balling out well. I'm not sure where the Dallas Mavericks fall when it comes to like this season or even the playoffs, but if they just keep playing like this, maybe they can be able to like get to the semis. I know they've already made the conference finals in 2022, but that's a long time ago. That time they had Jalen Brunson. They had a very good squad in there, but right now I'm not sure about that. But anyway, it is what it is. So you guys make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about this video, and I'm out. Peace.